You've probably been told your car should last about 100,000 miles, and then it's time to move on. But here's the real reason so many vehicles fall apart right after that mark. They've been designed, marketed, and maintained based on half-truths. Dealerships and manufacturers aren't invested in helping your car live a long life. Why would they be? They want you back in the showroom buying something new, but with the right knowledge, you can flip the script and easily push your car past 300,000 miles. It doesn't take magic, just real-world strategies that most people never hear. These 17 tips can save you thousands, and some might even make your mechanic nervous. The final one? It's ridiculously simple, but it could be the one thing that spares you from a $5,000 repair bill. Tip 17. Change your oil sooner than they tell you. Forget what the manual says. Those long oil change intervals are not doing your engine any favors. Most manufacturers recommend changing your oil every 10,000 to 15,000 miles, especially with synthetic oil. But here's what they don't tell you. Those numbers are based on ideal lab conditions, not the stop-and-go short-trip cold start reality of your daily life. I've personally opened up engines that followed those approved schedules, and what I saw was ugly. Sludge so thick it looked like tar, scorched pistons, worn-out camshafts, and oil passages so blocked they could barely breathe. The truth is, these factory recommendations are just long enough to keep the engine alive through the warranty period. After that, you're on your own. If you actually want your car to last, change your oil every 3,000 miles if you're using conventional oil. If you're using full synthetic, aim for 5,000 to 7,000 at most. Yes, you'll spend a bit more over time, but that $40 oil change can save you from a $4,000 engine replacement. Think of it like brushing your teeth. Would you skip it for weeks just because your dentist says you could get by? Tip 16. Don't idle to warm up. Drive gently instead. Idling your car for 10 minutes in the driveway on a cold morning might feel like you're being gentle with it, but in reality, you're slowly wrecking your engine. I've seen engines with oil that looked like dirty water, thin, contaminated, and useless. Why? Because when an engine idles cold, unburned fuel starts slipping past the piston rings after just 30 seconds. That fuel dilutes your oil, stripping away the lubrication that protects your engine's moving parts. The damage doesn't happen all at once. It builds up over time until your engine loses compression, wears unevenly, and runs rough. Instead of letting your car sit and idle, here's what you should do. Start it. Wait about 30 seconds to let the oil circulate, then drive gently. Avoid heavy acceleration for the first mile or two. The oil will heat up and protect your engine much faster when the car is actually moving, about 8 times faster than idling. So skip the warm-up myth and give your engine what it really needs. Smooth, gentle driving right away. Tip 15. Stop pumping after the click. You're at the gas station, the pump clicks off, and instinct kicks in. You give it one more squeeze to top it off and make the price nice and round. But that tiny squeeze might be setting you up for a very expensive mistake. That extra bit of gas has nowhere to go but into your car's vapor recovery system, which is designed to handle fumes, not liquid. I've seen vapor lines flooded, sensors fried, and charcoal canisters ruined, all because of topping off the tank. These repairs don't come cheap. A damaged emissions system can cost anywhere from $350 to over $900, and in some cases, you won't even notice the damage until it's too late. The gas tank is built with a certain amount of space to allow fuel vapors to expand and safely vent. When you cram in more fuel than it can handle, it disrupts that balance, floods sensitive components, and starts a chain reaction of failures. So next time the pump clicks off, stop right there. Let it be done. Your engine, your emissions system, and your wallet will all thank you. Tip 14. Change transmission fluid on time. Most people forget about their transmission until it slips. But by then, it's usually too late, and you're looking at a $4,000 repair. Transmission fluid doesn't get topped off like engine oil. It's sealed inside and silently breaks down. Even if the fluid still looks clean, by 60,000 miles it can be full of clutch dust and metal shavings. It turns into liquid sandpaper. Change it every 60,000 miles or 6 years. For hybrids, you can wait up to 90,000, but don't push it. Important: never flush an old transmission that's been neglected. You could break it. If it's been serviced regularly, go ahead and flush. If not, just drain and refill. And always use the correct fluid for your car. Tip 13. Coast early, don't slam your brakes. Slamming your brakes doesn't make you a better driver. It costs you money. Every hard stop creates massive heat that warps rotors and wears out pads. I've seen brakes destroyed by people who treat every red light like a racetrack. Want your brakes to last longer? Let off the gas early. Coast into stops. Use engine braking downhill. This simple habit can double the life of your brakes. When it's time to replace parts, buy good quality pads. Cheap ones wear out fast, ruin your rotors, and make noise. Spend a little more now or a lot more later. Tip 12. Flush the coolant before it overheats. Did you know aluminum engine parts can warp at just 230 degrees Celsius? One driver ignored the temperature gauge for 8 minutes and ended up with a $3,800 head gasket repair. Rule: if your temperature needle hits red, pull over and shut the engine off immediately. Don't try to make it home, tow it. To avoid overheating, flush your coolant every 3 to 5 years. Check coolant levels every month and never mix coolant colors. Use the exact type your manufacturer recommends. Mixing coolants can corrode your system and destroy your engine. Tip 11. Find coolant leaks early. If you're adding coolant every week, you've got a leak, and it's only getting worse. Coolant doesn't just disappear. Whether it's a cracked radiator, worn hose, or dying water pump, something's wrong. Sometimes the leak is hidden, like a heater core soaking your carpet, or a tiny head gasket leak steaming through the exhaust. Not all leaks are visible. That's why you should pressure test your cooling system. If the pressure drops, you've got a leak to fix. Just topping off the coolant won't save your engine. It only delays failure. Tip 10. Remove extra weight from your car. Your SUV is not a moving truck. Every 100 pounds of extra weight adds serious strain, especially during braking. I've replaced shocks, springs, and control arms in vehicles overloaded with junk. One customer packed 800 pounds of tools into a small crossover for a weekend job and paid the price. Carrying too much weight destroys your suspension, wears out tires, and burns more fuel. Clean out the junk if you want your car to last longer and drive better. Tip number 9. Suspension damage can cost you big. 2 months after getting a free suspension job, the rear shocks blew out, the tires were scalloped, and the alignment was ruined. That free job ended up costing $1,400 in suspension repairs, and the tires still needed replacing. Always check your gross vehicle weight rating, GVWR, which is listed on the door jamb. Subtract your car's curb weight to know how much weight it can safely carry. Don't forget, passengers and luggage count. 4 adults and a trunk full of bags might be all it takes to overload your vehicle. Want your suspension to last? Travel light and avoid carrying unnecessary weight. Overloading not only ruins ride quality, it damages your car from the ground up. If you hear your suspension groaning, don't ignore it. Tip number 8. Don't ignore weird car sounds. Ticking, clunking, whining, or squealing sounds are not normal. They're your car asking for help. Turning up the radio won't make them go away. A $40 squealing belt can turn into a $1,200 alternator repair. A faint clunk might be a worn CV joint that snaps and ruins the axle. One driver ignored a ticking sound that turned out to be low oil starving the engine. The result? A full engine teardown. If your car starts making noise, pay attention. Ask yourself, when does it happen? Hot or cold, fast or slow, on bumps or flat roads? Then get it checked early. Small fixes are cheap, big ones are not. Tip number 7. Manual drivers, keep your foot off the clutch. If you drive stick, don't rest your foot on the clutch pedal. Even a little pressure keeps the clutch partially engaged, which wears it out quickly. A clutch can burn out in just 40,000 miles and cost $1,500 to replace. Light pressure creates heat, wears down the friction disc, and scorches the flywheel. Coasting with your foot halfway down the pedal shortens your transmission's life, one stoplight at a time. The fix is simple. Only press the clutch when shifting. At red lights, use neutral. On hills, use the handbrake instead of the clutch. These habits can triple your clutch's lifespan. Tip number 6, don't let your fuel pump overheat. Running your gas tank near empty can destroy your fuel pump. That pump needs gasoline to stay cool and lubricated. When fuel runs low, the pump pulls in air instead, causing heat and internal damage. I've replaced fuel pumps with less than 80,000 miles because of this. It's a $600 mistake. Low fuel also stirs up gunk from the bottom of the tank, which can clog your filter and fuel injectors. This causes rough idling, poor acceleration, and eventually engine trouble. Try to keep at least a quarter tank in your car. It's not just about fuel, it's about keeping your car alive. Tip number 5, the $10 mistake that can destroy your engine. Spark plugs look innocent, but they're little time bombs if you ignore them. I once saw an engine burn out at just 40,000 miles, all because no one checked the plugs. The pistons melted, the ignition coils fried. Game over. Here's the truth. Waiting until 100,000 miles like the commercials say? That's asking for trouble. Especially with direct injection engines, you should start checking plugs at 60,000 miles. Rough idle? Engine misfire? That's your car crying for help. Always choose trusted brands, NGK, Denso, Bosch, or OEM. Quality spark plugs don't just protect your engine, they can push your car past 300,000 miles. Cheap ones, you'll be lucky to hit 130,000. Tip number 4, that rattle could be a time bomb. Your engine mounts are like the spine of your car, and when they go bad, everything else starts falling apart. I ignored a soft thump for weeks. No big deal, right? Then one day, I shifted into gear, and the entire engine jumped like a scared animal. The front mount had split clean in two. If I hadn't caught it, I would have been looking at a cracked exhaust manifold and thousands in repairs. Test it yourself. Press the brake, shift to drive, and gently rev to 2,000 RPM. If your engine leaps more than an inch, replace the mounts. Use solid brands like Anchor, DEA, or Rain Automotive. Don't wait until your car starts shaking like a blender. Tip number 3, the part of your car you never wash but should. Everyone loves a shiny hood, but the real danger lies underneath. Salt, snow, mud. Your undercarriage takes the abuse, and most people never even look. I lifted a truck once that looked spotless on the outside. Underneath, total disaster. Control arms corroded, rear brake lines crumbling. The driver had no clue until the brakes failed while towing. Winter roads are brutal. One season of salt can turn metal to flakes. Use a pressure hose or a car wash with undercarriage spray. It's 5 minutes that can save your frame and your life. Tip number 2, the $400 lie at every dealership. You go in for a $40 oil change. You leave with a $1,400 repair bill. Sound familiar? I used to work behind those counters. I know the game. Service advisors are pressured to sell, not help. Fuel system cleaning, throttle body flush, brake fluid change at 30,000 miles. Most of it is nonsense. One advisor even tried to upsell a throttle cleaning on a brand new car. I fired him on the spot. Before you agree to any urgent fix, ask for proof. Photos, video, fluid tests, or better yet, get a second opinion from a trusted local or mobile mechanic. Knowledge is power, and in this case, it saves cash. Tip number 1, the fiber fix that saves your car from dying. Battery corrosion is like a silent killer. It builds slowly and strikes when you least expect it. A woman once came to me in tears. Her car wouldn't start. A shop quoted $900 for a new starter. I popped the hood, grabbed a wire brush, and 5 minutes later, her car roared to life. That white gunk around your terminals? It's draining your alternator, frying your electronics, and stressing your starter. Clean it every few months with baking soda and water, then coat it with grease or spray. Simple, cheap, and crucial. Just don't disconnect your battery unless you know your radio code, or you'll be singing silence. Final advice: the real threat isn't your car, it's the shop. Now you've got 6 powerful ways to push your car past 300,000 miles. But your biggest risk: repair scams.